Welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Saccoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hey, friend. Thanks for tuning in. So happy you're here today. Listen, before we talk about resolutions, before we talk about goals or plans for 2026, I want you to take a deep breath for a moment with me. Because today isn't just another episode. Today is the 500th episode of the Child Care Director's Chair podcast. Can you believe that? And it's New Year's Day, a day full of energy, reflection, and possibility. So let me say this. Leadership isn't about arriving somewhere. It isn't about titles or recognition or even hitting milestones. Leadership is about who you are becoming, quietly, consistently, and intentionally. And I want you to hear me on this. If you're listening right now, leadership has already changed you. Maybe it's stretched you. Maybe it's challenged you. Maybe it's even worn you out at times. But it has also grown you in ways that no seminar or textbook ever could. And today I want us to reflect on what it means to step into the next chapter of your leadership journey, to step forward with purpose, with clarity, and joy. So here's a question I want you to think about as we step into 2026 together. Who are you becoming as a leader? Not who you think you should be, not who other people want you to be, not even who feels safe and easy. I'm talking about the version of you that's fully aligned with your values, with your purpose, and the kind of impact you want to have in the world. Leadership isn't built in those grand moments or the flashy wins or the, 10,000 followers on social media. It's built in the quiet, everyday choices. Showing up even when it's hard, holding those boundaries even when it's uncomfortable, and growing when no one is watching. And I want to get real for a second, because connecting with people all over the country, leaders, teachers, directors, people like you, has brought me so much joy. It's reminded me why I do this work, why it matters, and how it gives me purpose in this next chapter of my life. Building this community of early childhood educators has really been one of the most meaningful parts of my journey. It's reminded me that leadership isn't just about my centers or my programs. It's about creating spaces where other leaders can thrive, feel supported, and grow into their best selves. Legacy is built in small, repeatable choices. And I want to talk about legacy for a minute, because when most people hear that word, they think about big accomplishments or awards. But real legacy isn't something flashy. It's something much quieter. It's in the small, repeated choices you make every single day. It's how you speak to a team member when they're struggling. It's the patience you show when someone is frustrating you. It's in the moments where you could walk away, but instead, you stay present, you stay engaged, and you do the work that matters. In every conversation, every action, every decision writes your legacy. And here's something I want to share from my heart. Meeting leaders all over the country has been one of the most joyful experiences of my life. Listening to their stories, celebrating their wins, learning from their struggles has reminded me that leadership is bigger than any one person. It's about lifting others and creating a space for growth, helping people feel empowered. That's real legacy. And it starts with those small, consistent choices that align with your values. And alignment matters more than approval. Early in my career, I thought strong leadership meant being liked. I thought it meant saying yes to everyone and being available 24/7 and always being agreeable. I thought approval equaled authority, but I learned the hard way. Approval isn't what makes a leader strong, alignment does. Alignment is when your values and your boundaries and your decisions are all lined up. It's when your team knows exactly what you stand for and what you won't compromise on. And here's the thing, when you chase approval instead of alignment, you drain yourself and your team feels it. There's tension, confusion, and uncertainty. But when you operate in alignment, your authority naturally lands. People trust you even when they don't fully agree because they know that you're consistent and grounded. I also want to share something personal. I've had to let go of relationships, roles, and even opportunities that no longer fit with who I'm becoming. And honestly, while it was uncomfortable at first, it made space for so much joy and clarity. I made room for relationships, projects, and experiences that truly align with my purpose. And that has been life-changing. Growth requires letting go of old versions of yourself. You can't grow into the next chapter while holding on to old versions of yourself. Some habits, patterns, or ways of leading that once served you, well, they don't anymore. So letting go doesn't mean failure, and it doesn't even mean regret. It means evolution. And for me, one of the biggest and most joyful evolutions this year has been family. I'm stepping into my role that I never expected, and that's becoming a grandma. My grandson has reminded me that leadership isn't only about work or influence or professional growth. It's also about nurturing and guiding and loving across generations. And honestly, I was built to be a Grammy. It has been one of the most fulfilling, joyful chapters of my life. It has taught me lessons about patience, presence, and joy that I can bring back into my leadership every day. And that's the point for you too. Sometimes growth asks us to release what no longer serves us. The relationships, the roles, the habits, and make room for new experiences, new purpose, and new joy. And that's how you step into the leader you're becoming. Influence is measured by who grows because of you. And at the end of the day, not measured by programs, checklists, or accolades, measured by the people who you help rise. Who finds confidence because you believed in them? Who stays because your leadership created safety? And who grows because you created a space for learning and reflection? That's the real measure of influence. That's the real measure of legacy. And the amazing thing is, you get to choose it every day. The small ways you show up, the ways you guide, support, and encourage others, those moments ripple far beyond what you can see. Courage is a daily practice. And leadership isn't about never feeling fear because I've been afraid plenty. It's about showing up in spite of the fear. Courage isn't a one-time event. It's a practice that shows up in small moments every day. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation with a team member that you've let go too long. Maybe it's making a decision that others don't agree with. Or maybe it's standing up for your values even when it's uncomfortable. The truth is, every day presents an opportunity to practice courage. And every small act of courage compounds over time. I've experienced this myself many times, whether it was advocating for a staff in a difficult situation, whether it was challenging systems that weren't serving children any longer, or stepping into new roles that I maybe didn't really feel ready for. I learned that courage grows when it's practiced consistently. Here's the thing, courage inspires others. People notice when you stand firm with integrity, and that's how influence spreads organically. And joy and fulfillment are leadership tools. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in leadership is that joy and fulfillment aren't just personal. They're strategic. Leaders who model joy and fun and curiosity and gratitude create environments where teams thrive, children flourish, and communities feel, inspired. I found so much joy in connecting with leaders across the country, hearing their stories, celebrating those wins, and even helping them work through challenges has reminded me why I do this work. And personally, welcoming my grandson into our family has reminded me that the greatest life, gifts, and leadership lessons come from those small, tender, everyday moments. The laughter at breakfast, the running up and down the hall, and he wakes up really early, like 3. The bedtime stories, those moments fuel resilience, perspective, and energy that carries over into every leadership decision. So as you think about 2026, remember this: joy is not a luxury. It is a leadership tool, and it's contagious, and it strengthens your influence in ways nothing else can. So a lesson I wish every leader would learn early is leadership is about contribution, not control. So many of us enter leadership believing that we need to manage every detail, influence every outcome, or fix every problem. And the truth is, leadership isn't about control. It's about contributing to something bigger than yourself. Your role as a leader is to create a space for others to grow, to support their learning, and to guide them toward their own best decisions. It's about empowering others to lead alongside of you, not creating dependency on your authority. When you shift your mindset from control to contribution, your leadership becomes more sustainable, more impactful, and honestly, more joyful. So personally, this has been one of the most transformative realizations of my career. Whether in my centers, in my mentoring leaders, or building a community through this podcast, I've learned that letting go of control opens doors for others and for yourself to thrive. So I want you to pause and really think about this as you step into 2026. What relationships, what habits, or what roles are no longer serving you? And what old versions of yourself are ready to be released? And what version of yourself are you ready to fully embrace? Leadership isn't about doing more. It's about showing up with intention. It's about letting go so you can step forward with clarity, alignment, and purpose. And it's about becoming a leader whose presence, influence, and legacy matters. And here's where I want to invite you to step boldly into 2026 if you're ready to make this year truly different. It's time to invest in yourself. The Early Childhood Education Empowerment Conference is happening May 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick, Rhode Island. This is your chance to step off the hamster wheel, connect with other visionary leaders, and grow intentionally. And thanks to our sponsors, tickets are just $2.99 for 3 full days. And during January, we're offering a buy one, get one free. A deal so that you can bring a colleague, a friend, a team member, a family member. Because leadership grows best in community. And this is your invitation to come connect, reflect, and step boldly into your next chapter. So to every listener who has been here since episode 1, to everyone who joined along the way, thank you. Your commitment to growth, to leadership in this work matters more than you know. Leadership is not a title. It's not recognition. It's not what you've accomplished on paper. Leadership is who you are becoming, how you're showing up, and the impact you leave behind. And for me, this 500th episode is more than a milestone. It's a celebration of community, connection, purpose, and most of all, joy. Connecting with all of you has brought me so much joy, more than I could ever imagined. Building this community of early education leaders has reminded me why I do this work. And stepping into my new role as a grandmother has shown me the beauty of growth, persistence, and joy in ways that complement my leadership every single day. So let's step into 2026. I invite you to embrace this next chapter. Let go of what no longer serves you. Step into alignment. Show up intentionally and lead with presence. And create a legacy that matters, not just today, but for years to come. Here's to the leader you're becoming, to reflection and growth, and stepping boldly into your next chapter. I can't wait to see what 2026 brings for you. Have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Child Care Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Saccoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.